There is a doorway within you, silent, ancient, and almost always ignored. It does not creak or knock, but waits patiently, for years, for lifetimes. And when you finally open it, not with your hands, but with your stillness, something unimaginable begins. The sages of old did not build monuments to their power. They built stillness. They sat, unmoving, while empires rose and fell. And though their mouths were closed, they spoke in silence to the universe itself. Now, ask yourself this. What really happens if you meditate every single day, not for a week, not for a month, but for 10 months straight? This is not a casual experiment. This is an alchemical journey. 10 months is enough to unravel identities you never knew you wore. It is enough to rewire your nervous system, your perceptions, and possibly your destiny. You begin with breath, but you do not end with breath. You end in places that have no name. In this video, we are going to explore what truly unfolds when you walk the inner path of daily meditation for 10 months. We'll draw upon forgotten wisdom from ancient temples, initiatory systems, and mystical traditions. We'll explore what happens not just to the body or the mind, but to the energy field, the subtle body, and even karma itself. You'll learn what to expect at each phase of the journey, why some experiences may terrify you, and how most people quit just moments before the veil begins to lift. We will look at the teachings of Hermetic masters, yogic sages, desert monks, and mystery schools, all of whom knew a secret: stillness is the ultimate revolution. So if you're ready to uncover what few dare to experience, not just the peace of meditation, but its power, then stay with me. We are about to step into the forgotten art of inner transformation. And it begins with silence. The practice of meditation is not modern, nor is it limited to any single culture. It is a thread that weaves through the secret corridors of ancient civilizations, from the caves of Himalayan mystics to the stone chambers of Egyptian priests, from the desert silence of early Christian monks to the fire rituals of Zoroastrians. Wherever humanity has sought truth beyond illusion, meditation has been the path. But what is meditation, really? The word itself, meditare in Latin, means to contemplate, but in the East, it goes deeper. In Sanskrit, the word dhyana refers not to thinking, but to the cessation of thought. In Chinese Taoism, the word Zhuo Wang literally means sitting in forgetfulness. And in the Hermetic tradition, silence is referred to as the womb of the divine mind. To meditate daily for 10 months is to become part of this ancient lineage, a line of beings who turned inward, not to escape the world, but to perceive its hidden laws. Let us go back. In ancient Egypt, temple initiates were taught to still the ka, the energy body, as part of their training to transcend the illusions of the material world. Stillness was not rest, it was control. Silence was not absence, it was presence so vast that speech would distort it. In India, the yogic system divides meditation into layers. The first stage, pratyahara, is withdrawal of the senses. Then comes dharana, concentration. Only after these steps can one reach dhyana, true meditation. And beyond that lies samadhi, union with the Absolute. These stages cannot be rushed. Time, devotion, and consistency are the crucibles through which the practitioner is forged. In early Christian mysticism, the prayer of the heart was whispered ceaselessly until the distinction between the one praying and the prayer itself disappeared. The hesychasts of Mount Athos believed that divine light, what they called the uncreated light, could be directly perceived by those who mastered inner stillness over long periods of time. Across cultures, we find the same truth: daily meditation is not a relaxation technique. It is a technology of consciousness. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without, tells us that the outer world is but a mirror of the inner. To master the inner world through meditation is to gain influence over the outer. And yet, the mastery is not in domination, but in alignment. 10 months of daily meditation aligns your mind, body, and soul with a higher order of being. But time is the key. In esoteric circles, consistent practice over lunar cycles is considered crucial. 10 months, roughly 300 days, completes multiple cycles of inner purification and reordering. It is no coincidence that certain initiatory paths lasted 9 or 10 months. The gestation of a human being is 9 months. In the mystery schools, the soul's rebirth followed the same rhythm. This is why dabbling in meditation brings mild calm, but devotion brings transformation. Over the next sections, we will break down exactly how these 10 months unfold. What happens in your body, in your mind, and in realms you may not even know exist. We will uncover the spiritual mechanics that modern science is only just beginning to glimpse. Because meditation is not just something you do. It is something you become. The journey of meditating daily for 10 months can be divided, not arbitrarily, but in accordance with energetic shifts that unfold over time. Each phase acts like a chamber in an ancient temple, revealing deeper and more hidden aspects of the self as you progress. The first 5 months are about dismantling. In the beginning, meditation seems simple: you sit, you breathe, you observe. But within weeks, the illusion of simplicity shatters. You start to notice something strange: your thoughts do not slow down. In fact, they become louder. This is not failure. This is the surfacing of the unconscious noise that has always been there, humming beneath your daily life like a hidden generator. The mind, once left unobserved, now thrashes under observation like a wild animal caught in the light. This stage is what many traditions call the battle with the guardian of the threshold. In Hermetic texts, the threshold guardian is a symbolic force that protects deeper truths from the unworthy, or more accurately, from the unready. It appears in the form of distraction, restlessness, even emotional turbulence. Meditation brings you face to face with it, not as punishment, but initiation. Around the 1-month mark, your mind begins negotiating with you. You might feel an urge to skip a session, or doubt the practice's worth. These are not just habits, they are your ego defending its territory. But if you continue, something begins to shift. By the 2nd month, the breath becomes an anchor. You find brief windows of stillness. Thoughts are still there, but they no longer drag you with them. You begin to watch, not react. You begin to remember that you are not your thoughts. This insight is revolutionary. It is the first crack in the wall. Around month 3, the body itself begins to respond. Meditation changes your brainwave patterns, reducing beta frequencies, associated with alert thinking, and increasing alpha and theta waves, which are linked to deep relaxation and trance states. Many people begin to sleep more peacefully. Some experience sudden moments of clarity or euphoria. Others have vivid dreams, even lucid ones. The nervous system, previously overstimulated, starts to settle. The breath deepens. Your inner world expands. But this calm is often followed, around month 4, by a kind of emotional purging. Memories, feelings, or unresolved traumas may bubble up. Some days, the meditation feels heavier than before. This is normal. The stillness you are cultivating is like a mirror, and that mirror is now reflecting back parts of you that have long been suppressed. In Tibetan Buddhism, this is referred to as nyam, temporary meditative experiences that arise as the subtle body clears itself. They can be blissful, sorrowful, chaotic, or serene. They are not signs of success or failure, merely byproducts of purification. By the 5th month, something remarkable happens. You begin to notice a gap, however brief, between your experience and your reaction to it. Someone says something rude, and instead of snapping, you pause. The pause is not weakness, it is spaciousness. This spaciousness is awareness emerging from the background. You realize, I am not just thinking, I am aware of my thinking. I am not just feeling, I am witnessing the feeling. This marks the end of the first major phase, the dissolution of surface identity. You are no longer meditating to calm the mind. You are meditating to see through it. By the time you cross the threshold into month 6, you are no longer the same person who began this journey. Something has softened, and something else has sharpened. The edges of your old identity have worn away, like a stone slowly polished by running water. But now, the river flows deeper. In the 6th month, a quiet power begins to emerge, not loud, not flashy, but unmistakable. You begin to feel energy. Not metaphorically. Literally. Some describe it as a buzzing under the skin. Others feel pressure at the brow, warmth in the chest, or a tingling up the spine. These are not imagined sensations. They are signs that the subtle body, what the yogis call the pranamaya kosha, the Chinese call the chi body, and the Hermeticists refer to as the luminous body, is awakening. When meditation becomes a daily ritual, the flow of life force begins to reorganize. The chakras, energy centers, start to activate, cleanse, and align. This is not always comfortable. You may experience emotional spikes, strange bodily sensations, or moments of deep existential questioning. But this, too, is part of the path. The philosopher Plotinus spoke of the flight of the alone to the alone, a mystical union with the source of all being. Around months 7 and 8, meditators often report moments that resemble this flight. You may find yourself dissolving into stillness. Not a blank void, but a rich, pulsing presence. Time may vanish. Thought may disappear. And in that sacred pause, there is nothing to be achieved. Only being. This is not yet enlightenment, but it is a doorway to it. One meditator described this phase as sitting beneath the surface of the world, watching reality breathe. Another said it was like listening to the silence behind all sounds. Here, you may begin to access what esoteric traditions call the inner realms, layers of consciousness beyond the physical. You might experience visions, archetypes, synchronicities, or messages in dreams. But take heed, this is not the goal. The masters warn us, again and again, not to become attached to phenomena. Visions are just clouds. The sky is awareness itself. And so, in months 9 and 10, the ego attempts one final negotiation. It may try to co-opt the practice, seek to use meditation to gain power, wisdom, or spiritual superiority. This is the final illusion, that the self can be improved when in fact the self is to be seen through. If you persist, something extraordinary happens. Not dramatic, but deeply real. You return to simplicity. But this time, it is not naive. It is profound. You sit, you breathe, you are. And in that being, you realize. Meditation is not about escape. It is about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Your nervous system is rewired. Your perceptions are clearer. Your reactions are slower, more conscious. You walk through the world. But something walks with you. A deeper self. A witnessing presence. A silence that listens, even when you speak. And this is the fruit of 10 months of daily meditation, not fireworks, not visions, not perfection. But the quiet, unwavering return, to yourself. Practical application. Turning silence into a daily alchemical ritual. The idea of meditating every day for 10 months might seem daunting. And yet, like planting a seed in the soil, all that is asked of you is presence, repeated, gentle, unwavering presence. The transformation comes not from dramatic effort, but from sacred consistency. So how does one begin? And more importantly, how does one continue? Start with simplicity. Forget elaborate rituals, chanting, or advanced techniques, for now. In the beginning, all you need is a place, a time, and a willingness to show up. Sit comfortably. It can be on the floor, a cushion, or a chair. Close your eyes, and bring your attention to your breath. Let it be natural. Start with 10 minutes. Set a timer. And do nothing, absolutely nothing, but observe. You're not trying to stop thoughts. That's like trying to stop the wind with your hands. Instead, imagine you are standing at the edge of a river, watching leaves float by. The leaves are your thoughts. You don't chase them. You just witness. This is the beginning of awareness training. Build a sacred habit. Choose a time of day that becomes non-negotiable. Dawn is ideal, sacred in nearly all traditions. The world is still asleep, and the veil between inner and outer is thin. If mornings aren't possible, choose any time you can protect. Tie the practice to a trigger. Right after brushing your teeth. After your morning tea. Just before bed. This ritual repetition embeds the practice into your life rhythmically, like a mantra woven into the day. Create an energetic space. Where you meditate matters. Choose a corner, a room, or even just a cushion that becomes your temple. Keep it clean, quiet, and undisturbed. You may wish to light a candle, burn incense, or place symbols that inspire you, an image of the Buddha, a symbol from Hermeticism, a stone or crystal. These are not decorations. They are anchors for the subconscious, helping you enter sacred time. Track the journey, but don't judge it. Keep a simple meditation journal. After each session, write a sentence or two. What did you feel? What did you notice? What arose? Over time, you'll begin to see patterns. You'll learn to recognize your cycles, when the mind resists, when the heart opens, when insight arrives. This becomes your inner map. But remember, no two meditations are the same. Some days you'll feel deep peace. Others, you'll wrestle with boredom or agitation. This is natural. Do not evaluate your progress based on how calm you feel. The practice works beneath the surface. Overcoming obstacles. Boredom is a trick of the ego. It wants stimulus, not stillness. When boredom arises, recognize it as a test, an opportunity to stay and go deeper. Restlessness often masks emotional surfacing. If your body feels jittery or your thoughts race, simply return to the breath. If needed, lengthen the exhale to calm the nervous system. Doubt will come. Is this even working? This is when most people quit. But true seekers persist. Know that every moment spent in awareness is dissolving lifetimes of unconscious habit. Deepening the practice. As months go by, your practice will naturally evolve. You may begin to explore mantra repetition, e.g., so hum, om, or a sacred word meaningful to you. Visualization, light at the third eye, energy rising through the spine. Energy sensing, feeling the space within and around the body. But these should arise organically, not as distractions. The goal is not to add complexity, it is to deepen intimacy with silence. In 10 months, your outer life may look the same. But your inner life will not. You will have built something rare in this world, a sanctuary within. And when the storms of life come, and they always do, you will not be easily shaken. You will return to the breath, to the seat, to the stillness. And in that stillness, you will remember. You are more than your thoughts. More than your roles. More than this moment. You are the one who watches. The silent witness behind it all. The real gift of 10 months in silence. So now we return to the question with which we began. What happens when you meditate daily for 10 months? The answer is not easily measured, not in hours, brainwaves, or even words. Because what you gain is not something added to you. It is something revealed within you. Through stillness, the false begins to fall away. Through silence, the truth begins to whisper. And through time, you come to understand that meditation was never about becoming something more, it was about remembering what you already are. The ego will not announce its dissolution. The world won't applaud your inner work. But the signs will be there. You'll respond, not react. You'll listen more than you speak. You'll feel connected to something vast, sacred, and unnamed. And perhaps, most mysteriously, life itself will begin to flow differently. Doors will open. Patterns will shift. People will notice something in your eyes, a calm that doesn't waver. This is not magic in the Hollywood sense. It is true magic, the alignment of your inner being with the invisible architecture of reality. 10 months of daily meditation will not solve all your problems. But it will change the one who has them. So now, the invitation is before you. Not just to practice meditation, but to live it. To step out of the noise. To sit in the throne of your own awareness. To reclaim the kingdom within. And if you begin today, truly begin. Then 10 months from now, when you look back, you may not recognize who you were. Because you will have become someone infinitely more real. Thank you for joining this journey. If this message resonates with you, reflect on it, sit with it, and more importantly, begin. Your inner temple is waiting. Let the silence speak. Let the transformation begin.